Savage community, the only person that's responsible for me having this gap in my podcast is me. I've said it in a lot of podcasts, maybe every episode. You got to hold yourself accountable first and foremost, and you have to live it before you can hold anyone else accountable. Once you do that and other people know that you live it, if they don't see you living it, in at least mostly every aspect of your daily life, then they're not going to listen to you. You can't hold nobody else accountable unless you check yourself first. Fuck, man. My fault. This is the longest gap I've ever had. I can make an excuse and say we were on vacation, training, housework, full-time job, responsibilities. I just talked about it in the last few podcasts, just the daily grind. I had planned on doing one in Florida. We were on vacation in Florida about, damn near today, a month ago. I plan on doing one there. The way I was going to do it, and again, I'm not even talking about it anymore because it's on me. It's just a complacency, something I preach against a lot, and being comfortable of why I've been off of Spotify and Apple Play a year this month. I do very much plan on being back on. I never planned on having this big of gap. This is the longest I've been. I think it's been about 5 or 6 weeks. And if I don't care if it's one listener and one subscriber, I still owe you an apology. I'll apology to myself because this is just like anything. My training, my family, whatever it is. Yes, no matter what it is or isn't, it's a commitment to myself. And a lot of people don't get this, and I didn't get this when I was younger either. Commitments to ourselves come first. Commitments to ourselves. It's like not setting boundaries with people. I know a few people that come to mind right away with this, whether it be their children, specifically grown children, grandchildren, whether it be their parents, siblings, employer, or employees. Mainly this employer. If you jump every time somebody wants you, doesn't mean they need you. Doesn't matter how much you love them. They might love you. They might appreciate you. They get a benefit from it. But most of the time, they just need you to do whatever it is you're going to do. And when you don't establish boundaries with people, no matter what the relationship is or what you tell yourself, they don't respect you like they should because they know that you'll stop what you're doing. It may be something you need to do. Your mental health comes first. Your physical health comes first. The obligations and commitments to yourself. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if you tell someone no over that. No, I can't do that. I can't go help you with that like I've helped you 10 times. Or no, no, I said I wouldn't work a weekend, or I'm not going to work a double shift, or I'm not going to be available for that because I have commitments to my kids and grandkids, telling your employer this, whatever it is. Most of the time, these people want you to jump at their want over your need. Wants and needs. It's not too late in life to learn that. Wants versus needs. When you understand your needs and you live more disciplined and resourceful, you understand there's a big difference between a want and a need. And we're selfish about that as human beings. And it doesn't matter if you say, no, you know what, I'm behind on, I need to get my workout in. Or, you know what, I just need to de-stress this weekend. I just need to relax. I just need to unwind. I don't need whatever it is. If you've constantly obligated yourself to these people and made yourself available at their beck and call, chances are they don't respect you like they should, no matter who it is. Believe this or not, whatever age you are, it can even be your mom or dad. It could even be your grandparents. It could be, God forbid, children and grandchildren. It doesn't matter how long you've been at your employer, what career you have, or whatever it is. You can say no. But here's the thing. Once you start saying yes to everything, they expect you to keep doing it. And you know, if this hasn't crossed your mind, you know they're either going to get mad at you, they're going to view you a different way, they're going to maybe not give you the promotion. Maybe you're not going to be their favorite. Maybe you're not going to be their go-to. Maybe you're not going to be their company person. Maybe you're not going to be their favorite kid. Maybe you're not going to be liked as much. They'll get the fuck over it. They'll be okay. The thing is, you have to start it that way. But just because you didn't start it that way does not mean it's too late. So, what I want to do is just jump on here today, man. And let me say this. I can't say I'm sick. I'm not sick. But I don't feel good. I was kind of feeling like this a few days ago. Maybe about 2 or 3 days, about 3 days ago. And then the next, I got home, got off of work late. The next day I knew I was off. I mean, again, off from my employer, because I do so much when I'm not there. And for the most part, again, training is enjoyable to me. My family, these are commitments. Podcasting when I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. I have no excuse for being this far behind. I've talked about the equipment thing. I've talked about having guests. All I can tell you is, if you find value in this and you believe in my message and what I stand for, if you know me and you know how I live, I can tell you to keep tuning in. It's going to happen. The shit's sitting right in there. I actually took it to on vacation with me, and I thought that it wasn't an obligation to them. Great vacation with what I call my sister and brother-in-law, which is technically she's my cousin, but I'll get into that in another podcast. Talk about these different relationships we have with people and how we lose connection and why that happens, and was there a reason for it, and in this life we only have so much time to make reconnections. If there's a want and need that we need to do that, sometimes things don't need to be reconnected. Sometimes relationships don't need to be mended. But we're talking about things that sometimes it just happens. Like, you're not sure why you lost touch, life, and unfortunately sometimes we don't get a second chance with people. We don't get to reconnect. We don't get to make new memories with them. And sometimes we were so close, so close to someone growing up or in our earlier younger life. And this is one of them situations where me and her grew up like brother and sister for the first almost 15 years or so of our life. And we're 3 years apart. She's 3 years older than me, and they have a different life than we do. And we never had traveled with any adults. I'll say this: we either travel with our adult children and grandchildren, or we travel alone as a couple. Nothing in between. So it took some getting used to. I mean, they're a couple that don't have children, and they've been together over 25 years. And we're a couple that's been parents since we were 18, and we became grandparents at 40. And previous relationships, we became grandparents together. We've raised children mostly all of our life, and we became young grandparents. Not that either one is less or more than the other, but people have their different habits. They have their different routine. That's certain things that are important to them that's not important to someone else. Everyone thinks that whatever they have is the most important, equally respectfully so. But it was like about 6 days after driving time, and hey, I never get enough of that. I never get enough of blue water and beautiful beaches and sand until it becomes permanent. But again, nothing to be ashamed of. We were on a restricted budget, so there was only so much we could do. But at the same time, when we go to the beach, wherever we're at, I mean, unless we paid for an all-inclusive resort, which we haven't done that in a few years. We'll talk about that later, not in this podcast. But still, I mean, we beach. We beach, bitch. We want to go to the beach and stay. We're not going down there and stay an hour or two. Now, when we live there, when that becomes full-time, instead of this, not Florida necessarily, would love to live in Florida, but I've talked about that before, and I'll touch base on that later. We're talking about what's about to be our second home. We go back and forth, not enough, but it's about to increase as of next year, where that'll be our second home, and it'll be part-time for a while. Maybe it will be for a couple hours a day, because we'll have access to it right there. And again, for the Texas coast, you're about 4.5, 5 hours away, depending on traffic from the from the coast. But still was much needed, and it wasn't long enough. Again, y'all have heard me talk about this. The average American, or that I think it's the United States. I read this about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. The average American is takes 2 weeks vacation a year. Actually, goes somewhere. Maybe not at once, a week here and a week there, or 3 or 4 days here, 3 or 4 days there. And we've learned to accept that as the norm. We'll say we can't afford it. I'm speaking in general for the masses, the consensus. But we managed to afford, put ourselves in a position to afford other things maybe we don't need. Even if you can afford them financially, doesn't mean you need them. Just because you can get it. I've talked to this about people with their children. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. When it comes to vacations, that's different though. I'm not going to ever arrive at a point where I think I've traveled too much. I think I've seen too many beautiful beaches. I think I've met too many interesting people. I've went to see places that I never thought I would see. That's not going to happen. We don't have enough time for me in this life that I can even make up for the years I miss traveling. It does take money. It does. Unfortunately, everything takes money. So in my mind, I got to have less of other stuff. And live not within our means, but below our means. So when we do have more resources, and we will, that's not the goal, but the goal is to be able to do more, to get more experiences, to travel more, to see more things, to make more memories, to vacation more, to take it all in while we have whatever time we have left in this life. There probably are people who regret taking a vacation. There are some that go bad. It could happen to anyone. But I think there's a lot more people that regret buying something, taking out a second mortgage. You have amazing credit. You make good money, so they approved you for more house than you could afford. You knew it, but they approved you for it, so you went ahead and got it anyway. Trading in your cars, credit card debt, student loan debt, all shit sometimes people regret. I've been there. Even if you manage it and make enough, it just ties you and shackles you for so long. It's not something I want in my life anymore. Again, I always say this: things fit universal. I'm not going to arrive at old age, or if I'm blessed, I pray I'm blessed enough to live older, to be an old man, and to be healthy, and someone not have to take care of me and clean up after me, and me be not being mobile, not being able to take care of myself, because I don't want to live to be 85 or 90 and someone have to do that for me. It's a blessing getting to live to be old and be able to take care of yourself, even if you can't live on your own. That's a blessing. And say, well, you know what? Like I said, it was a while ago. Well, I think I traveled too much. I've seen too many beautiful places. I definitely wish I would have worked more. I definitely wish I would have bought that truck I wanted. I definitely wish I would have got the. I always, like me, there's so many things. I really don't care about vehicles, cars or trucks. I don't. It doesn't matter how much money I have. It's not something that's on my radar. But I think about the design of a home I would want. Not just, I could say if money wasn't a factor. I'm saying if it wasn't a burden to me and it wouldn't stress me out, it wouldn't put me, even a mortgage is oftentimes a necessary debt. There's a difference between a necessary debt and unnecessary debt. Let's just say I was 10 years younger. It's still not something I want to do. I get frustrated with having, my work ethic is not in question. I always tell people this: when it comes to all this work I have to do on this house, I don't have the skills, and I can't afford to hire somebody most of the time. I can't. That's my frustration. I'd rather have known how to do a lot of it when I was younger. And for certain things, I'd rather hire somebody. So a lot of it's burned me out. It's not, again, work ethic and skill are two different things. Sometimes we get those confused because someone who has a skill, however they learned it, if they wanted to learn it, if they were exposed to it at a young age, if it was something they wanted to know how to do, whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter. Someone that has a skill is probably going to get twice the work done than someone else is. If we start something at the same time, whether it be a fence, whether it be flooring or painting, whatever it is, and whoever has the most, if we put in the same amount of hours, we work the same pace, we have this, let's just say, similar work ethic, the person who has more skills is usually going to cut that time, and if not in half, going to cut down that time. So a lot of things take me triple, quadruple as long is because I've had to figure it out as I go. And in our generation, we always said that's the best thing. You have to, and it is for me. It doesn't matter what anyone explains to me. It doesn't matter how much they tell me it's going to be a benefit to me, and they can describe it in detail. It probably is one of those things that I was ADD and shit when I was younger. I know that people would joke about it, switching one subject to another, whatever it is. I never was going to take medication. I don't take any medication now. I'm not going to start because my mind wanders. It's like telling people, don't call me and tell me stuff unless it's an emergency. I'm not going to remember. But if you text me, it's a reference point, and I don't have to bother you, and you don't have to bother me. A lot of people getting our age and older, now I'd rather talk to someone. Sometimes it does constitute a phone call, but most of the time a text is, you know what? They send me a text. Let me go back and look at it. That way I don't have to call people and then tell them like 10 different things or a handful of things. The thing is, yes, even though we're getting older and we're Generation X who knew a whole life without that technology, okay, you think about how short our attention spans got on things. And we were already well into our 20s when some of this tech, or 30 when this technology got to where it's at right now. The 2 or 3 younger generations, it's all they know. Anyway, I have what I knew I would want for us if it wasn't a 20 or 30 year mortgage at our age, which is not going to happen. I know what I would want for us if I can pay cash later for what when we sell what we have, that will pay cash within those parameters. We have picked out what we want. Then I have what I would want for us if I could build it, pay cash. I'm not saying just overboard. If I had it, here's what I would do. But I'm not going to put nothing else on a mortgage. I'm not going to put nothing else on a payment. I don't even want to buy a car or truck again. Let me tell you, people, that sounds crazy to some of you. That has nothing to do with ambition. That has nothing to do with our goals. It has nothing to do with the drive and the grit that we have. It's just something I don't want to subscribe to anymore. So I want more for us, but I'm not willing to work my life away and get myself in debt anymore, because that's not living. So I was just going to jump on here, and it ain't going to happen like that again. I took all my podcast equipment. Again, it's probably a fucking 2-hour learning curve. Had it sitting in there for almost 4 years. The room has come along better. It's almost embarrassing to myself that again, man, this got complacent to do it this way. And it's like I said, when I got on Spotify almost 5 years ago, this was how they sold it. And then all of a sudden, you didn't want you using a mobile device no more. I just thought, I should have had 20 guests by now. For anyone that listens on a regular basis, again, it's discussion. There's no discussion you can have with me or any recommendation that you can make that I haven't thought of 1,000 fucking times, or I don't know I'm aware that I need to do that. With saying that, having a guest, I can't just pop in my room or in again, I'm doing a different room in the house this time. The room that has been set aside for that, and that we actually got some further along with remodeling that I've been doing. If you go back and look at maybe the last 6-7 podcasts, it's in that room. I still haven't got it cool enough, and it's summertime in Texas, towards the end of July. Not triple digits, but it's close. The heat index is triple digits. I think the last couple of days, I hate this. I trip. I'm saying this. People say, watch out for the heat. You're going to overexert yourself. You're going to do this. I know what my body can handle. I know what I can handle. And it's crazy. I think I just got too much heat the last few days. I think I overdid it. Working outside, working on the house, and training. Today I woke up not feeling good. I didn't have no damn energy. Didn't feel sick. Didn't feel nauseated. Just felt like I ain't got anything in the tank today. And I went hard the last 3 days. Fence, housework, dogs, training. And then I tell myself in my head, hell, I go like that weeks at a time sometimes. I recover, I hydrate, do what I need to do, and then usually I wipe the fuck out. I have to be exhausted to rest, and then usually the next day I get up and I'm back at it again. Whatever this 2 or 3 day window it got me, if I'm in the house not taking care of stuff I need to take care of, and I'm not laid up fucking sick, then you know I don't. If you, my loved ones know he must not feel good, because he wouldn't be in the house right now. We're gonna go to the water park today. just hang out. Me and the mamacita. No kids. Nobody was going with us. We have a season pass. It's nothing crazy expensive, but it's just something to do when we don't have nothing to do. Something extra to do. If it's just hanging out in the wave pool, going on the lazy river, getting a few drinks, taking our cooler. And I never talk myself out of that. I always want to go. And I talked myself out of going today. I was like, I thought it'd make me feel better. And then I thought, if I go out there, I feel like shit, then I'm just going to go around and tell her I want to go home. And I don't want to do that. So I've laid around 8. Second mimosa seems to be setting okay with me. Took a couple of the dogs to the playground this morning. I needed to do this. Too busy is an excuse. It is. It doesn't matter what your position, what your title, what your authority is. Too busy is an excuse. No matter what it is. Even when you're dealing with other people who you work for, they work under you, you work for them, or your family, whatever it is, too busy is an excuse. We make time for what's important to us. And I have to check myself and I go, well, I guess this wasn't important enough for me the last month. But I do think it hurt me getting off Spotify, because I got a reminder. I think if I went over 10 days, they'd send me a reminder, because that was my obligation to them. I said it a while back. Hey, no matter how long it took, it gives something to look forward to and go, after so many seasons, he finally had guests. But you know what? You have to know, for whatever this is, or whatever, if you call it small, if you call it mediocre, if you call it not successful, whatever the fuck you think, I haven't went anywhere. I got over 240 episodes. It's just not where I want it to be. And even when I can have guests, even when I do have guests, whether I go to them or they come to me, whether it be here in the room that's been set aside for that, or maybe they have, and I'm thinking a lot of people that I know or that I communicate with, some of them I haven't even met in person, or I've met in person very few times. When you vibe and you connect and you speak the same language, you get it. I know some people that don't have children and they don't have a lot of animals, and it doesn't mean it has to be super expensive. It could be a travel trailer. It could be anything. Maybe they might have a better background. Maybe they might have a better arrangement. We could do it there. It's whatever is best for everyone, and I'm gonna try to do what's best for anyone that's that I'm blessed enough to come on my podcast. So I'm going to do my best to accommodate them. But just like today, I couldn't pop in here and, hey, come to my house today on a Saturday or Sunday when I'm not feeling good, and let's just go do it in this room or the bedroom. The room is still too hot. I got some work done to it and got 2 of the walls insulated, got a window unit in there, and it's just what it is, man. It's a converted garage, but it's still too hot. I can handle it. And I can do stuff in there. I have a pull-up bar, and it's going to get better. It is going to get better, but I can't ask other people to come over here and be uncomfortable until I get something better in there to get it cooler. Because it's still, it ain't the temperature it is outside, but it's uncomfortable. So the idea would be to go to what's maybe I'm going to recommend that they have a better place that they want to do it at. And then sometimes it'll be here, especially people that I know on a that I see consistently, or I have a relationship with them throughout my life, or at least a large portion of my life, that it's not uncomfortable. I'm not embarrassed, nothing I have. But it's just the fact I don't want them to come over for the first time and be uncomfortable. But I couldn't jump on here like today and say, hey, you know what? I'm up and washed my face, took a shower, whatever, feel a little bit better. You want to come over and do it now? I can't do that. So there's still a large portion of it still going to be me doing this. So I just want to jump back on here and tell everybody I haven't went anywhere. I apologize for the long gap. I hope you still tune in. I hope you still subscribe. I hope you do some kind of sharing. I hope you tell someone about it. Even if it's not this episode, it could be a past episode, season 1, season 4, whatever it is you think could help yourself or help someone else. And before I go, so I can't wait to talk to musicians, because I feel like I'm a musician, but I'm not a musician at all. That's my favorite subject to talk about. So my number one artist of all time, kids, if you don't know who that is, the OZZY, Sabbath, but mainly OZZY solo. Just did the Back to the Beginning in Birmingham, where they started, where they're from. I haven't watched all of it. I didn't know I missed the live stream. There was a 48-hour window. Pissed off at myself. I don't want to. I've been watching the YouTube clips. Did not want to. I would have paid the $30 for the pay-per-view. I would have done that. I did not. It didn't dawn on me what day it was. We had our youngest granddaughter. We had her birthday that weekend. Her birthday was actually a week before that, but they were waiting for us to get back from vacation. We had that birthday. I just didn't even think about it till after I started seeing the clips. He's in bad health. We don't know how much longer we have with these pioneers and these legends. And when these people are gone in the music world and just in life, it's going to feel different when these people ain't here no more. And it's not a concert t-shirt. It's just a OZZY shirt, a band shirt. I wish it was a concert shirt from this tour, but then again, I was probably about 7 or 8 and I couldn't have gone anyway. But I've watched a few clips, man, so I just thought I'd throw my OZZY shirt on today and show some respect to the Prince of Darkness, the pioneers of heavy metal, Sabbath and OZZY. And they say that was the biggest event in rock, metal history, and that, from what I'm seeing, I believe it. One final performance, sitting in a chair. He's a fraction of what he used to be, but he still fucking showed up and did it, man. This is what we have to do in life, no matter what it is. Show the fuck up, even if it ain't what we know we can do, even if it ain't what we want to do, no matter how frustrated we get. Don't leave anything in the tank in this life. Don't. So we'll do some more catching up. I just want to jump on here and say, whatever it is, I hope you can, whatever you think of it, if you've tuned in, tuned out, I mean, it ain't like I went 6 months or a year. I went longer than I wanted to. I've done that a handful of times. When I'm back on Spotify and Apple Play, hopefully that'll stop. But I'm holding myself. I'm not going to say it. I said it. I'm eating my words. I said it in the past few podcasts that I was going to try to get back to 2 a week. I'm not going to say that right now. I'm going to get back on track. And I'm going to tell myself what I need to do. And again, I'm calling myself out. I'm eating it because I have not done that. It's one of them things where you have so many irons in the fire. Sometimes a couple of them are hot. Sometimes a couple of them are cold. And then, okay, you know what? These are getting too cold. I need to go back over here. I got some other things that are going well. But this is important to me. Again, no matter how long it takes, I could be in season 10 and finally get to do it for a living. I'm saying that again. Yes, if it's going to people and speaking, if it's going on other people's podcasts, if it's anything like that you think that you want to invite me on, if you want to tell someone else, hey, you should get this guy, you should go talk to him, if it's speaking to people, if it's talking to youth, if it's just talking about life, if it's ultra trail running, if it's music, whatever it is, hit me up. Let's talk about it. I'll do my best I can to get to other people. But I feel like no matter what, we ignore the voices in our head and our intuition and our soul and our heart. And something tells me no matter how much of a gap I had, how much frustrated that I've gotten. And this goes for other things. Don't quit. Don't quit. You'll regret it. And as long as you've been doing it, even if it's not where you want it, you're going to lose all the progress you made. And at least you still did it and did what you had to until you could do what you want to. So this applies to everything, no matter what it is. If it's that workout, if it's a half-ass, fucking get up and do it anyway. If it's, you knew you should have studied for 6 hours, But you studied for an hour, still study for an hour. If it's, I knew I needed to go for a jog, but I'm going to go for a walk and I feel like a lazy ass, go for the fucking walk. Whatever it is. If it's, I need to call that person and check on them because I haven't, but I feel so guilty about it. Instead, I'm just not going to do anything. Do something. Just do something. Just don't fucking quit. Y'all stay humble, live savage.